Hi, I'm Kevin Klein, City Councilor for Charleswood, Tuxedo, Westwood, and Chair of the Winnipeg Police Board. First and foremost, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for all of the emails, all of the phone calls, and all of the messages on social media in support of a motion that we put forward at the last City Council meeting, Councillor Nason and I, that was requesting the Water and Waste Department immediately test a solution that was supported and backed by the IISD. That is an internationally recognized and respected body, otherwise known as the International Institute for Sustainable Development. Now, over the last couple of days, the PR machine has been working hard to discount this motion and to change the narrative, if you will, to that the city is already doing work. And I thought instead of playing that game, and we'll talk about it a little bit at the end because I think it's unnecessary and childish. We should be focusing on working for the city, not on political statements or political PR moves to try and put us back in a better light. This isn't about individuals. It's about fixing a problem that has been going on for years and years and years that is adding to the death of the world's 10th largest freshwater lake. So I decided I will give you facts. I will talk about the PR that's going on and the spin so you're aware and you can see where it's coming from. But I will not give you any information that cannot be verified or supported by documentation. And all of that documentation, that support, I'll put online. I will put it on my website and you will be able to go there and see it for yourself because I think that that's of most importance. It's easy to say one thing. It's hard to prove what you're saying. And we certainly do find that here because we're finding many things that cannot be proved. So first and foremost, the EPC members now, Councillor Gillingham, Millard, and Gilroy, so on, and the mayor, as well as the deputy mayors, Chambers and Santos. The big push right now is that the phosphorus solution that we put forward is too risky. It's far too risky right now, out of control. We've got a plan and we have to stick to that plan. This one's too risky. So here's the fact. The motion, quite frankly, reads that the City Council direct Water and Waste to immediately test the phosphorus solution that is supported by the IISD. It goes on to say that it must be tested in the next 90 days. So test it with a deadline. You've got to test it in the next 90 days. And then, if the results come back, and I will tell you that from this point forward, I would like them to be independently verified now. But when the results come back, if it's proven to reduce the amount of phosphorus pollution that we are putting into Lake Winnipeg, that we would immediately implement the plan within the next 6 to 8 months. So what's the risk? Is it risky or is it manipulation of words to try and get you to think that this motion wouldn't solve anything, that they're doing the right thing? Now, you also hear them say that, or you'll hear the city say that they are working on a plan and they're working on it right now. And that they have not said no. In fact, it was on, I believe it's the mayor's blog, though. They have not rejected the IISD plan. Here's the fact. All councillors, including the mayor and his members of EPC +2, received an email from the manager responsible for that division that said the IISD plan is not being considered because it won't work. So, who's right? So if the mayor thinks we're working on a plan but we're not, why aren't you up to date with what's happening in the city of Winnipeg? And if the mayor is up to date and what that manager told us was false, has that manager been reprimanded? Either way, something has to be fixed there. The reality is, in the letter that the city sent to the province, it said we need 2 years to come up with a solution. Please extend the rules by 2 more years, just 2 more years, and we'll find a phosphorus solution. That's far too long. That doesn't mean we're fixing it right away. I guess we're working on a plan, but that's not fixing it right away. That's poor management, and that's just silliness. You deserve better than that. You also hear that the chair of the Water and Waste Department, Councillor Gilroy, and others talk about the report that was put together by consultants. And they referred to this report a lot. And during council, they referred to the fact that it was sealed, that they put their professional seal on the document, which is fantastic. It's required in all situations, but it's great. I'm glad they pointed that out. Here's the facts. The fact is that exact same organization we used was the organization that we were going to sue just a few years ago for the work that they did on the other sewage treatment plant. For $30 to $50 million, we were going to sue them. And everyone thought that we were in the right, but we missed it by 1 day. We didn't file the papers on time. We were 1 day late. So what did the city do? Well, it immediately fired the lawyer who was working in the city for not filing the papers on time. I have to say, I find it a little bit questionable that we would give a file that is worth $30 to $50 million for taxpayers, money coming to us, to one lawyer. So we fired her. She was responsible. Well, she immediately sued for wrongful termination for millions of dollars. And the city quickly, July, they were in court in July, the city made an agreement with her. They made her an offer, and they came to a resolution. But it's sealed. They signed a non-disclosure agreement, I guess. We'll never know how much you paid her, and you'll never know what really happened because it's been sealed. So why would you do that if you have nothing to hide? Why would you do that if you thought you were right? Because it would cost you less in court cost? No, don't let them tell you that, because the lawyers work here. We're already paying them full time. They're our lawyers. So that's not it. There's a different reason. Those are the facts. You can Google that story. The media covered it. The other fact is that consultant report that we were going to sue, but we used again, that sealed the documents, had this to say about the IISD proposal. The IISD proposal is considered relatively robust. Overall sludge production will increase by about 15%. I note, and you'll see the documents on my Facebook page, above it says 7.5%. Maybe that's a typo. Doesn't matter because it doesn't affect the outcome, which is this is not expected to exceed the capacity of existing digesters, but consideration should be given to the reduced digester capacity. Fair enough. It goes on to say that minimal additional space requirements for this solution to work. Compatibility with the future development of the sewage treatment plant. You know that we're trying to get it all refurbished and working up to code inside out. This alternative could be incorporated into the future build-out, meaning we could do this today, reduce the amount of pollution going into Lake Winnipeg because of us. Sorry, I think I hit my mic. And we could do this right away, and it could be built into the plan. So we're just doing it early. And by doing it early, we're actually helping the lake. And maybe we're giving it another life by helping it. It goes on to say that it requires minimal construction, and in fact, we know rough estimates to have this done is approximately $3 million. And of course, the rough estimates, being open and transparent to operate this on a year-to-year basis, is about $2 million. I think that's a small price to pay to save the 10th largest freshwater lake in the world, don't you? But we're not doing anything right now. So I made that statement. And the mayor and EPC say it's risky. We know it's not risky. I'm asking for a deadline to test something. How is testing something risky? Come on. This is all over their social media. Councillor Gilroy, Councillor Gillingham, Councillor Allard, Matt Allard's assistant. It's not risky. It's testing something. But I gave them a deadline. Maybe that's risky because they've never had a deadline before they had to hit. Maybe that's the risky part because they've had 5 years. All of those people have been in office for more than 5 years, or at least 5 years. They've had lots of time to fix this, but what have they done? Well, Councillor Gillingham in charge of finance, the mayor and EPC who all voted for the budget, siphoned tens of millions of dollars from the water and waste revenue and put it into general revenue. That is risky. And to continue doing it is foolish. So that was the risky move. not testing a phosphorus reduction. Our current levels of phosphorus that the City of Winnipeg puts into Lake Winnipeg is 3.4 milligrams per liter. The accepted level across the country is 1 milligram per liter. The City of Winnipeg is 3.4 times higher than the average or the acceptable level across Canada. Now they'll say, oh, we've reduced it by 20%. We've got plans. You had lots of time. Time is now. They'll also go on and they'll tell you more things about how they've been working on RFPs, requests for proposals. You've had lots of time. Why weren't you talking about all of this, and why weren't you public about all of this before the motion went forward to take action? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? The other hashtag they use is collaboration, not division. Come on. Collaboration, not division? I think I've sent several emails to the mayor. I've responded to a letter publicly to him and another email where clearly EPC plus 2 is division. I mean, EPC members plus those 2 get briefings that no other councillors get. They all get many incentives, financial incentives, expense account incentives, even ward incentives. And they always win because that gives the mayor the balance of power. It gives the mayor 9 votes to the 7 non-EPC members. So I ask you, what is division? Trying to put a motion forward that I didn't get approved by the EPC first? Or creating a whole different group of people, the haves and have-nots? I'll let you be the judge of that. And the final point that I want to make was during the City Council meeting. This is to show you collaboration. During the City Council meeting, I was started to explain the importance of water to Indigenous peoples. As I started to explain the importance of water and the sacredness of that, Councillor John Orlico piped up and started claiming that I needed to ask a question and that I wasn't allowed to preamble. Wow, that's collaboration. But you know what? You take a look. You tell me.
Councillor Klein.
Last question. Thank you, Madam Chair, and through you, thanks to Councillor Gilroy. Indigenous people across this country recognize the sacredness of our water, the interconnectedness to that, I'm getting to it, of all life, and the importance of protecting our water.
The question, Councillor Klein.
Is Indigenous not that what the sacredness of the water is not important? It's not preamble, it's democracy. Fine. Is the chair satisfied that being 3.4 times higher than the required level of 1 milligram per liter for the next 10 years is satisfactory? I think it's important to note what I was trying to say is Indigenous peoples recognize the sacredness of our water, the interconnectedness of all life, and the importance of protecting our water from pollution, drought, and waste. There is a prime example that we are all the same. Water is life to each and every one of us. It doesn't matter our ethnic background. It doesn't matter where we live. It doesn't matter our education level. It doesn't matter our age. It doesn't matter our sex. It doesn't matter how we identify. Water is life. So there are 2 types of leaders in the world. There's 2 types of people in the world, really. There's those that will find a way, and there are those that will find an excuse. No more excuses. No more political spin, risky. Doing a test is not risky, folks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And collaboration, not division? Seriously? As soon as you eliminate EPC and treat everybody equally, I'm with you, 100%. But for today, let's do the right thing. Let's spend the $3 million and get this done. But before that, test it so that there is no risk involved. That's why I said test it.